Hello students, welcome to the third session of biotechnology and its applications. Let's see what are transgenic animals. Animals that have had their DNA manipulated to possess and express an extra foreign gene are known as transgenic animals. Transgenic rats, rabbits, pigs, sheep, cows, and fish have been produced, although over 95% of all existing transgenic animals are mice. Why are these animals being produced? How can man benefit from such modifications? Let's try and explore some of the common reasons. Transgenic animals can be specifically designed to allow the study of how genes are regulated and how they affect the normal functions of the body and its development. Example, study of complex factors involved in growth such as insulin-like growth factor. By introducing genes from the other species that alter the formation of this factor and studying the biological effects that result, information is obtained about the biological role of the factor in the body. Many transgenic animals are designed to increase our understanding of how genes contribute to the development of disease. These are specifically made to serve as models for human diseases so that investigation of new treatments for diseases is made possible. Today, transgenic models exist for many human diseases such as cancer, cystic fibrosis, rheumatoid arthritis, and Alzheimer's. Medicines required to treat human diseases can contain biological products, but such products are often expensive to make. Transgenic animals that produce useful biological products can be created by the introduction of the portion of DNA or genes which encodes for a particular product, such as human protein like alpha 1 antitrypsin used to treat emphysema. Similar attempts are being made for treatment of phenylketonuria and cystic fibrosis. In 1997, the first transgenic cow Rosie produced human protein enriched milk. The milk contained the human alpha lactalbumin and was nutritionally a more balanced food for human babies than natural cow milk. Transgenic mice are being developed for use in testing the safety of vaccines before they are used on humans. Transgenic mice are being used to test the safety of the polio vaccine. If successful and found to be reliable, they could replace the use of monkeys to test the safety of batches of the vaccine. Let's look into chemical safety testing or toxicity testing. The procedure is same as that used for testing toxicity of drugs. Transgenic animals are made that carry genes which make them more sensitive to toxic substances than non-transgenic animals. They are then exposed to the toxic substances and effects studied. Toxicity testing in such animals will allow us to obtain results in less time. Let's see what are the ethical issues in the applications of biotechnology. The manipulation of living organisms by the human race cannot go any further without regulation. Some ethical standards are required to evaluate the mortality of all human activities that might help or harm living organisms. Going beyond the mortality of such issues, the biological significance of such things is also important. Genetic modification of organisms can have unpredictable results when such organisms are introduced into the ecosystem. Therefore, the Indian government has set up organizations such as Genetic Engineering Approval Committee, which will make decisions regarding the validity of GM research and the safety of introducing GM organisms for public services. The modification or the usage of living organisms for public services has also created problems with patents granted for the same. There is growing public anger that certain companies are being granted patents for products and technologies that make use of the genetic materials, plants, and other biological resources that have long been identified, developed, and used by farmers and indigenous people of a specific region or country. Rice is an important food grain, the presence of which goes back thousands of years in Asia's agricultural history. There are an estimated 200k varieties of rice in India alone. The diversity of rice in India is one of the richest in the world. Basmati rice is distinct for its unique aroma and flavor, and 27 documented varieties of basmati are grown in India. This is reference to basmati in ancient text, folklore, and poetry as it has been grown for centuries. In 1997, an American company got patent rights on basmati rice through the US Patent and Trademark Office. This allowed the company to sell a new variety of basmati in the US and abroad. This new variety of basmati had actually been derived from Indian farmers' varieties. Indian basmati was crossed with semi dwarf varieties and claimed as an invention or a novelty. The patent extends to functional equivalence, implying that other people selling basmati could be restricted by the patent. Several attempts have also been made to patent uses, products, and processes based on Indian traditional herbal medicines like turmeric neem. If we are not vigilant and we do not immediately counter these patent applications, other countries or individuals may encash on our rich legacy and we may not be able to do anything about it. Let's see what is biopiracy. Biopiracy is the term used to refer to the use of bioresources by multinational companies and other organizations without proper authorization from the countries and people concerned without compensatory payment. Most of the industrialized nations are rich financially but poor in biodiversity and traditional knowledge. In contrast, the developing and the underdeveloped world is rich in biodiversity and traditional knowledge related to the bioresources. Traditional knowledge related to bioresources can be exploited to develop modern applications and can also be able to save time, effort, and expenditure during commercialization. There has been growing realization of the injustice, inadequate compensation, and benefit sharing between developed and developing countries. Therefore, some nations are developing laws to prevent such unauthorized exploitation of their bioresources and traditional knowledge. The Indian Parliament has recently cleared the Second Amendment of the Indian Patents Bill that takes such issues into consideration, including patent terms, emergency provisions, and research and development initiative. With this, we come to the end of the chapter Biotechnology and Applications. Thank you and have a nice day.